which then brings you back around. Like that's why I love the scene in the second movie where that guy, oh, you know, did you not recognize your baby out there when he's trying to blackmail Morgan Freeman? And I love the way Morgan Freeman plays it off. Like, you know, you think that the most richest man in the world is out there beating villains to bloody pulp with his bare hands. You know, good luck. You know, I love that whole scene. But it also does bring it to the point of, like, you have to be an idiot not to connect all these dots.
I like Alfred in this movie. Not as much as the Alfred from the older movies, but I do like Alfred in this movie. Although, have you noticed all his dialogue is speechless?
Well, I like Alfred a lot in this movie, but that's because I like Michael Caine a lot.
Yeah, the guy's amazing. He was like my favorite part from that movie, Secondhand Lions, which if nobody knows already, I fucking love that movie. We're talking about the guy who played Alfred, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
my favorite Alfred has to be from the animated series. I love the Alfred with the Patrick Stewart, you know, bald spot, the little mustache, and just the, you know, must away, no, you hold me, that whole thing. I love that.
Yeah,
he's the most useful Alfred to me.
Well, yeah, even I remember the
most
Bat.
sassy. There you go.
Well, if you look at the Alfred from the old movies, he's an old guy that just basically walks around with tea like Laura Krauss Butler.
Oh god.
That's what he reminds me of.
I think he just has some really great lines. I'm not talking about Batman Forever, where he just says,
So like your son, what so?
It just, what was the line he said in that? I'm not gonna go into that. No. Something about Batman getting drive-through.
Okay, drive-through.
Oh dear Lord. At least it's better than when do I get my own car? Chick dig the car.
This is why Superman works alone.
It's just like, what? Oh my god, those movies. Just give me Batman and Batman Returns. That's all I need out of those. Anyway, moving on. But yeah, The Dark Knight definitely is a movie that really brought comic book movies into the mainstream. Everybody saw that movie, basically.
And it shows how you could take a movie, kind of make it more realistic, but still maintain truth to the comic as well.
Yeah.
And it really brought a lot of focus. You know.
And one thing I think needs to be said, I do think Christian Bale makes a great Bruce Wayne. Again, if he didn't do the voice, I think he would have just been fine as Batman. Would have been better than Michael Keaton, because nothing's going to top Michael Keaton, or Kevin Conroy for that matter. Going back to the animated one. But yeah, no one's going to top Michael Keaton as far as movie Batman for me.
As far as the voice of Batman, yeah, I agree with, you know, he made a terrific Bruce Wayne. I do think Christian Bale did a terrific Batman. I love the voice. To me, it was something. Yes, I do absolutely love his voice.
For real?
Yes, I'm being legit here.
You're not being sarcastic.
No, I like the way he did the voice. It's different, but I don't know. I always thought it was really cool and awesome stuff.
Well, how was that One Man Island?
It's nice. I like seclusion.
I think fans loved it enough to make fun of it.
You know, I mean, it's a good little plug here. There's a series. You know, of course, a lot of people are familiar with College Humor.
Yeah.
Do lots of skits. There's a series that they call The Batman, and it's making fun of the Batman movies, the Christian Bale. It's like crazy. And my favorite one has to be the interrogation, where Batman is interrogating what he thinks is the Joker, and it's actually a birthday clown. And he's doing these like, where are they? Beating the shit out of him. The guy's like, I don't know! I just got drunk at the birthday party. I'm sorry! I loved when my friend showed me. He's like, "You gotta see this. You gotta see this." I could not stop laughing.
I got a question for you.
Didn't we see something like that too on the internet? It was pretty similar. I know there's someone else did like a small skit, something similar to that.
Because Batman's such an idiot in those skits. That's what's hilarious about it.
Yeah.
Now I gotta ask you, who wins the scary clowns? Dark Knight Joker or the Violator?
Scary Violator. I would have to say.
I haven't seen. I don't know what it looks like.
That's from Spawn.
That fat,
yes.
Bugly. All I can see is just Bugly.
He's
disturbing as a clown.
Pretty nasty guy.
Like eating pizza with worms on it. You know?
I mean, there's the scene in the animated series where, like, he's hanging out around a little kid's birthday party, and he just starts chatting with a guy in a nondescript van who's been hanging around the block way too much, especially when that birthday party started. You got
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the.
That is one of the
butcher guy.
creepiest scenes in that whole.
Yeah, because that
show.
ties into that whole story of Spawn and that guy that kidnaps children and kills them and all that stuff.
No, let's make this clear though.
So.
Oh, I'm gonna make this clear though. That movie of Spawn, I fucking hate that movie.
Yeah.
Only reason I like the movie is because I saw it as a kid and it just reminds me of my childhood. That's all I have. And that was the first time my brother ever heard me cuss, because I was trying to explain a scene to him, and he's like, "Well, what does he say?" I'm like, "He does this," and he's like, "What does he say?" I'm saying, "He says a bad word." What does he say? He goes, "Damn." He's like, oh, "You said a bad word." I'm gonna tell mom. No. So it's
okay.
active memory.
Another clown I could throw in there. I'm not going to go any further on this. I just want to say this: the evil clown from the Devil's Rejects. Also got Pennywise. So anyway, moving on.
If you want to throw another clown in, Simmons. So.
I know we're running out.
All right, so we're running on overtime. So.
Let's just
Close
get through it. Now, okay, we've all seen Avengers, right?
Yeah.
The funny thing about Avengers is it's amazing how that actually worked. We're going in this now. It's amazing how this movie actually worked, where they got all these characters, established them in other movies, and built up to this one big main event of a movie. And it's amazing. I mean, I loved it. I can't even think of anything to complain about.
Well, I mean, like, also not seeing the comics or even knowing nothing about them.
I know nothing about the Avengers.
Yeah, like, not knowing anything about the Avengers and then just seeing it. It was good.
It's a kick-ass movie. I mean, it's got everything in it. It's like everything wrapped up in one pack. It's got comedy, it's got action, it's got romance, it's got tragedy. Boom, all together.
Well, I mean, you got, what's his name? The two kind of pointless characters, Black Widow, and Hawkeye.
Well, those characters are specific to the Avengers.
But you know what?
Yeah.
Black Widow was perfectly done.
And how can you complain about Black Widow? I mean,
Black Widow was awesome in that movie. I even like the new guy who was playing Bruce Banner. I think he's probably the best Bruce Banner.
Yes, as far as movies go, he's the best one. I mean, I think he did better than any of the other ones, like in the Incredible Hulk or the Hulk movie. He was way better than them.
And the only reason why we've not talked about those movies is they're too big piles.
They're not even worth mentioning. That's why. My main complaint about the Avengers, which is a simple thing, is Hawkeye being left-handed. That's it.
Really?
That is my main complaint.
That's your only complaint?
That's my only complaint. That and...
That's just to show how good the movie is?
Yes. Yeah, I don't even complain about him not wearing a mask.
That bothered me a little bit, but
a little bit, but it wasn't... I was more concerned about him being left-handed. I'm like, he's an actor. He's not even shooting arrows.
Yeah,
he's actually just doing this. That's all he's... The arrows are all CGI.
Let's be honest. One of the best characters in that whole movie is Loki. Because he's like... badass, but also incompetent. Like when he catches, like the perfect thing that shows his character is he catches Hawkeye's arrow, which badass, catches the arrow, and then it blows up.
Mm-hmm.
So then he gets pumped, basically.
Favorite scene in the movie? I know it's
cliche. Are you talking about what I think you're talking about?
When the Hulk grabs Loki and beats the shit out of him, and then puny God. I love that. Stop! I'm a god! I'm so much above you! Dum 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 dum. I could not stop. My brother told me, it was like, there's this scene, he told me about it. I'm like, okay, that sounds funny. And then when I actually saw it, I was like, it was way better and made funnier than my brother could have ever made it be. I laughed for like 10 minutes straight.
I think I liked the Thor and Iron Man scene when they first fight.
Yeah.
And that was cool.
God.
The two superheroes.
Boom, headbutts him, and Thor's just like, boom, headbutts you back.
One little nitpick thing, and I didn't see Thor. Well, one little nitpick is I really wish he would wear the helmet.
I know, that was my big thing with Thor, is I wish he would wear the helmet.
I mean,
as far as Thor movie, it's a good movie, which, I would recommend watching it. It's a little slow, but it's a decent movie. Haven't seen the second one yet. I do want to see it soon, but the first one is a pretty decent movie.
Now, since we're running low on time, we're just kind of going to get on to this. Favorite comic book movie, and if you can think of more than one, give me your top 5. If you guys can think of more than one. So, well, since I know you probably can come up with some, I definitely can. Let's start with Don.
Does The Walking Dead count? The game.
It's
some
a
people-
stretch.
Like
but
some
I
people
can
want
see
to say
it.
it's a movie because
We can
interactive
just count
movie.
it. I mean, we can count it.
Well,
Yeah.
let's just count. Say,
Like-
yeah.
I have to say like that's probably my number one.
But okay.
But
Besides that, but straight up comic book movie.
Like
Straight
an
movie.
actual movie.
like an actual straight up.
Directed and done with.
I'm gonna go on Avengers. Yeah, probably gonna go on Avengers. I do want to see Guardians of the Galaxy. I probably will watch that later on. So right off the bat, I'm gonna say Avengers because it was really good.
What about you, Rob?
Watchmen.
Watchmen. Oh, we forgot to even talk about Watchmen.
I haven't actually seen it though.
Okay, so
Oh,
we might
yeah.
just
we
that's
might
right.
do.
I heard it was 50-50.
It's slow, but I do like that it's more mature than most comic
Yeah.
Yeah,
movies.
my brother
No.
watched it and he said it was very, very mature, but I like stuff like that a lot of times.
Let's
too.
see. A lot of people complained about it because apparently I've not seen the movie. So
Oh, it's like 50-50. It's either you're gonna love it or you're gonna hate it.
a lot of people said, oh, the movie sucks because there's no giant squid at the end.
That's
Is there a
fine.
giant squid in Watchmen?
I'm pretty sure in the comic, but I never read the comic. I only watched the movie when it came out.
It's just like really you want to take this like mature dark story and throw in a giant squid,
Squeeze. You can't go on with squeeze.
throw in freaking Squidward. All right. So since we've seen more, we probably can actually give a top 5. I'll get mine first. Just off the top of my head, and this is just me thinking of all the comic book movies I've seen. Number 5, Blade. Number 4 would be Batman, 1989. 3 would be Spider-Man 2. 4 would be X-Men 2. And 1 would be Avengers. But Days of Future Past being... Days of Future Past can either... Yeah, Days of Future Past would be number 2. I would say X-Men 2 would be number 6. So that would be my list. So
For me, probably if I'm going to go in this, I'm going to throw in some stuff that we haven't even talked about here, but probably number 5 for me would be like The Crow. It is based off of a graphic novel, which is a comic book, so Crow. The Expendables will probably be number 4.
that's based off of a comic.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
I didn't know it either, but
So
I
it's
heard.
it's legit. It's based off a comic. If you in the beginning of it says based off characters created by whatever, it's got a whole slew of comic books behind it that came out before the movie.
Now there will be some. I'm thinking we should do a sequel to this video, to this episode, to where we talk about like maybe TV shows based on comic books.
Yeah, like Arrow and things like
The,
that.
The Walking Dead.
well, we could like see that like later on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that would come like maybe at the end of the year or maybe even next year.
Anyway, so my top 5, as I was saying, The Crow, The Expendables. Probably number 3 would be probably it's a tough call here, but probably Iron Man or the Avengers. Probably the Avengers. No, Iron Man. Iron Man 2, I'd say. Number 2 would be The Dark Knight, and number 1 would be the Avengers.
Darkman and Iron Man. I forgot to even think about those. But
So,
yeah,
those would probably be like my top 5. Those are the movies I think really meant a lot to me. The Expendables, to me, I don't know much about the comics, but just it has like some of my all-time favorite old action heroes, man. And
Yeah.
you can't beat that. I mean, it's just
I want to
they're
know
kind
why
of cheesy
nobody.
and corny, but I love them.
Well,
It was all the.
You have what's his name? God, he was in Desperado. He was Zorro.
Antonio Banderas.
Antonio Banderas. He's in the 3rd one.
Yeah.
Did nobody even try to call Bruce Campbell? And granted, he hasn't been as many as those other guys have been, but come on.
He's Ash. I mean,
Anyway, so that's our favorite comic book movies. We went through a few of the probably some of the most important comic book movies.
as well as some of the most debated comic book movies.
Yes. And now there's going to be one where there will be an episode where it's all going to be it might be one of these episodes where it's going to be just me and Aaron talking most of the time, but there will be a Superman episode. In that one, you'll probably get an epic rant out of me for Man of Steel. Until then, I'm Philip,
Aaron.
Rob.
And on.
and before we go, we throw it to Rob.
Alright. We are here at Heart of the Cards in Kerrville, Texas. You can play Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, D&D, have Warhammer, and board games such as that. So come on down if you want to play.
See you guys next week.
Latest.